Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video we're going to be comparing two different careers. One career is going to be learning how to drive a truck, so that means coming to a CDL truck driving school, versus being a cosmetologist, right? So we're not talking about the cosmopolitan, we're talking about understanding how to handle makeup, hair, nails, everything when it comes to the beauty of people, females and males itself. So going to cosmetology school is the main thing to understand there. So pretty much in this video, we're going to kind of give you a breakdown, try to make it as easy as possible for you to understand the pros and cons of each one, and at the end of the day, you get to make the decision that's best for you. Now, if your passion is to do hair and makeup and things like that, it might be hard to convince you to get yourself a CDL license, but at least you're going to be fully informed to know exactly which path is going to be best for you and what your life looks like in the future moving forward from there. So the first question that most people have when they're looking into changing their education and changing their career is going to be, how long is it going to take me to actually get this thing going? Let's kind of compare it apples to apples. So cosmetology school, let's start off there. You're talking about 9 months to 2 years depending on how you take the program. People who do it full-time will take about 9 months. Now full-time means 8 hours a day, minimum of 5 days a week. Some of these programs actually go for 10 hours a day itself. Now in 9 months you can get your cosmetology license and you can make a baby. So think about all of that time, right? You have to understand when you are doing schooling for 9 months itself full-time, that means you can't be working full-time, which means you probably got to pick up a part-time job, and your full-time bills never stop, because unfortunately we're living in an expensive time right now, and you got rent to pay, you got house mortgage, you're going to have food, utilities, and especially if you have to support a family, it's going to be tough not making real money for 9 months at a time. Now you might be thinking, okay, I'll just go part-time. That means it's going to be 2 years of doing what you're doing now, living in the same struggles you're living in now, having the same fears that you have now, and just delaying everything for 2 years and trying to stay motivated throughout that entire piece. Now compare that to actually getting yourself a CDL license. Now when it comes to getting a CDL license, if you're looking to do it full-time, you're talking 4 to 5 weeks to kind of get in and out as fast as possible. We're talking about 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, if that's what you want. But the other thing that most of our students do is come to school on a part-time basis. People who come to school on a part-time basis take anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks on average to complete the entire training course. Now the cool thing is we're open up 7 days a week, which means there's no group training, there's no class dates that you have to kind of sign up for. You get to pick your own training schedule. We understand that you have bills, that you have a job. What most of our students wind up doing is actually coming to school on a part-time basis. And if you want to come to school part-time, on average it's going to take anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks to complete the entirety of the course and get yourself the result of a CDL license. Now we understand life happens. You have jobs, you have bills to pay, and things are always going to be moving around. And that's why we're open up 7 days a week. And we let our students pick their own training schedule around their own training needs. Which means if you want to come in on Wednesday at 1 to 5, you could do that. If you want to come in on Saturday from 9 to 1, you could do that too. Or maybe on Friday you want to come in from 5 to 9. We can help you out with all of that stuff. You are in the driver's seat on when and how often you want to come in for training, because we try to make it as simple and as flexible as possible to make sure that we get your needs accomplished, right? Now, so when you compare apples to apples, getting a cosmetology license is going to be something that's going to take a lot longer to get done, a lot more strict of a schedule. Getting a CDL license here at Driving Academy, because not all schools are created equal, is going to be a lot faster and a lot more flexible, which means you get to pick the school around your needs. The next thing we're going to be talking about is going to be how much money is it actually going to cost me. So start off with the truck driving school side first. On the truck driving school side, on average, when you look at the nationwide numbers, you're talking anywhere from $3,000 all the way up to $10,000 on average, right? Here at Driving Academy, most of our students are in the $4,000 to $5,000 range when it comes to investing in their own education. Now the thing you have to understand about that is we make it super affordable. You don't have to come up with all that money all up front. We make an interest-free payment plan available, which means that you can pay as you're training. All you need to get started is $500 down, and then we could work out an interest-free payment plan for the rest. We don't even run your credit or background check. Everybody qualifies. So it might be a great way to actually get yourself into a career without any loans, any student debt, or anything like that. Now, if you go to the cosmetology side, now we talked about, again, 9 months, 2 years. That means a lot more training. That means a lot more cost. So on average, it's going to be anywhere from like $9,000 to about $25,000, depending on the program that you pick and the school you go to. Now, how are they willing to charge so much more when they're just doing kind of classroom training itself. Now, one of the benefits of going to a cosmetology school is potentially, if you don't have good finances, you can actually apply for a federal grant, which means you can get yourself a student loan. A lot of people love student loans because all of a sudden they're coming into school, they don't have to worry about the payment back of the loan while they're in school, but all that stuff kicks in when you graduate. It's kind of like kicking the can down the road. But when you actually look at the numbers and see what you're going to be paying, say it's a $20,000 course, by the time you're done paying all the student loan plus all the interest, you're going to be paying closer to $20,000 depending on how long it takes. You're going to be paying closer to $40,000 depending on how long it actually takes you to pay that thing off, right? So now you're comparing a course that's getting a CDL license, say $5,000, to a course that was originally $20,000, but by the time you're done paying everything off, it's really $40,000. So are you willing to pay that much more money for a career? But you might be thinking, wait, if I'm going to pay $40,000 for a career after I'm done paying all the interest and all that stuff, that must mean I'm going to make bank once I get my actual license and I start my career, right? Logically, it makes sense. Let's see exactly what the numbers are on the next piece. Now, before we go into the next piece of how much money you can make sure you like and subscribe to this channel itself. We're always here to kind of give people the chance to get themselves on the road to freedom with their CDL license. And when you like and subscribe, it actually helps out the algorithm so much where we can actually get to our mission of helping 1 million people get on the road to freedom. Let's talk about how much money you can actually make with each career. So let's talk about the actual cosmetology school. Cosmetologist, which means you're gonna be able to work in a salon, maybe do some nails, do some makeup, things like that. Now there's a wide range of people making a wide range of money. On average, we're going to be talking about average numbers here. You're talking 20 to 40,000. Now, if you want to make more money than that, you can kind of work on the high-end clients. You can kind of go door to door if you want to do that. You can go into kind of the Hollywood studio side of things and work on makeup and horror makeup and things like that, and working on magazines. The other thing that you have to understand is those jobs are very few and very hard to get. Now, depending on what part of the country that you're in, there might be more demand for this job than others, especially in higher populated markets. Now, higher populated markets like urban areas, it would be fairly simple to find yourself a cosmetology job, to start working, getting some experience underneath your belt. But the other thing that's going to hurt you in that area is when there's a lot of competition, there's usually a lot cheaper of pricing. Right? If you go to the high-end areas, a lot less jobs available, but the pricing is a lot higher. Lower-end areas, it's going to be a lot of jobs available, but the pricing that you're going to make is a lot lower. So kind of balance all that stuff out. Now, when we compare that to getting a CDL license and starting your CDL career, the cool thing first is when we come to Driving Academy, we'll actually offer lifetime job placement, which means you don't even have to worry about finding work because we're going to help you out up until the day you die. But these are the facts. Nationwide jobs right now for CDL drivers, there's about an 80,000 driver shortage, which means 80,000 people can get hired today. That's a whole lot of people, and there'll no longer be a shortage and things will kind of be normal. So that means no matter where you are in the country, you can have this license and pretty much guarantee yourself a job as long as you're willing to work. Now that you understand which way is it easier to find a job, how much money do truck drivers actually make? On average, they're going to be making about $75,000 a year. Now, just like the hair salon people, there's people who are going to make a lot more than $75,000 a year. People who are part-timers, they'll make less. But again, on average, $75,000 per year. The other thing you have to understand is after you get 2 years experience underneath your belt, you're going to be considered an experienced truck driver, which means now your average for 2 years or more will actually be closer to $90,000 a year. Now, in order for you to get to that kind of income level on the cosmetology side, you're going to need to work your ass off 7 days a week, get a whole lot of clients coming in, or going to be extremely specialized in the kind of work that you're going to be doing itself. So understanding that both are great ways to kind of get a career, and if we can kind of simplify both options, the CDL side is going to be a lot easier, faster, and quicker approach to actually get yourself into a new career. There's not going to be any loans or any interest built on when it comes to the CDL license. Now, if you're somebody who's afraid, maybe you're a female, you're kind of going back and forth, which way should I go? I want to let you know that there's about 20% of the overall trucking population are turning into females. So let's kind of give a quick breakdown of what we've learned. Getting a CDL license is quicker, it's going to be cheaper, and you can make a whole lot more money doing it. Now, if potentially you're a female kind of looking at this video and you're like, hey, but I love doing nails, it's a female thing, I would kind of want to try trucking, but I'm afraid because I'm a female. That's mostly a male-dominated industry itself. The one thing you have to understand is about 15 to 20% of all truck drivers out there are currently female. And when it comes to our school population, we have female instructors, we have many female students out there, and just between me and you, females actually make a whole lot better students than males, right? We actually have couples come in, married couples, husband and wife, and what winds up happening is they go through the course together, and by the time it comes to taking the road test itself, 9 times out of 10, the female passes the first time and the male fails the first time, right? So there's something about that brain where you kind of just absorb it, and you don't have to worry about the ego. A lot of us guys, we have to worry about our ego all the time. We're getting inside the truck, we know what we're doing, we're not going to ask for help, and that's what delays our learning sometimes. So if you are female, kind of worrying about this, just come on in, check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. And if you're a male, I kind of gave you the different breakdowns of what you should be doing and what's important to you. So if time is important, if money is important, if earning potential is important, I think a CDL license is a no-brainer. However, if passion is important to you, then maybe go for the cosmetology school. It's definitely super cool. Now, the only other thing that you could be thinking is, well, if I get my truck driver's license, I will never be home. At least with my cosmetology license, I'll be local and I'll be home every single day. Well, that's where you're wrong. When it comes to actual truck driving, you can pick from 3 different types of work. You're gonna have local work, which means you're home every single day, regional work, which means you're home weekly, and over-the-road work, which means you're traveling the country and you're coming home monthly. When you understand that there are 3 different options, you get to pick the best option that best fits your lifestyle itself to get to your goals and dreams. If you are interested in learning more about how to get a CDL license, check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. We have locations nationwide, and if we don't have one near you yet, our plan is to open one there very, very soon. But if you can't wait, check out our Linden, New Jersey facility. We're able to facilitate you no matter what part of the country that you're in. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.